They weren't just a couple. Jelena became a cultural moment. Their relationship wasn't simply about two young people dating, it became an era of its own. Fans cried when they split, clung to every reunion, and believed in their story like it was a modern fairy tale. Online, they were celebrated as the definition of couple goals. But what if the truth was never as magical as it seemed? What if their story was really a cycle of toxic love, played out in front of millions? What if it was less about romance and more about emotional confusion, growing up in the public eye, and heartbreak disguised as passion? This isn't about hating either of them or stirring up gossip. It's about looking at the emotional reality behind one of the most famous relationships in pop culture and learning why it's dangerous to glorify it. It's not about taking sides, but about noticing the unhealthy patterns and seeing what lessons we can take away. Let's go back to the beginning. In 2009, Justin Bieber was just 15 years old, a Canadian kid who became a worldwide sensation after being discovered on YouTube by Scooter Braun and signed by Usher. Selena Gomez, 17 at the time, was already famous thanks to her breakout role on Disney Channel's Wizards of Waverly Place. They met through their managers and began spending time together. By 2010, rumors spread when they were seen at IHOP, though Selena brushed it off, calling him her little brother. But things shifted in 2011. At the Vanity Fair Oscars party, they arrived together, hand in hand, and suddenly, the internet couldn't stop talking. Paparazzi followed their every move. Fans flooded Tumblr with photo edits, and teen magazines crowned them the dream couple. Yet, even at the start, cracks were forming. They were only 16 and 18, still teenagers, but with the pressure of worldwide fame and constant expectations weighing on them. A relationship built under a spotlight doesn't grow peacefully. It grows through chaos. Fans praised them as perfect, but behind the scenes, jealousy, possessiveness, and overwhelming outside attention made it hard to breathe. They weren't just allowed to be two young people figuring things out, they were expected to represent an ideal. Between 2011 and 2018, they broke up and got back together at least 5 times. The timeline was a roller coaster. In 2012, they split. By 2013, they were spotted in Norway, with Selena flying out to support Justin on tour, only for things to fall apart again. In 2014, they teased fans with flirty Instagram posts. In 2015, Justin posted a throwback photo of them, sparking endless speculation. By 2016, things got ugly when Justin, then dating Sofia Richie, posted photos of the two together. Fans flooded the comments with hate, and Selena chimed in, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend." By 2017, to everyone's shock, Justin and Selena were seen again, going to church, grabbing coffee, smiling for paparazzi. For a moment, it seemed like they might really make it. But by March 2018, it was over. This time, for good. Behind closed doors, both were battling their own struggles. Justin was spiraling. Fights with paparazzi, rumors of drug use, rehab stays, and emotional breakdowns. In his season's documentary, he admitted, "I was reckless. I hurt people, including someone I really loved." Selena faced her own battles. She was diagnosed with lupus, went through chemotherapy, had a kidney transplant, and spoke openly about her anxiety and depression. In a 2020 interview, she said, "I went through a really tough breakup, and then I was left with the question, who am I without this person?" They weren't villains. They were two hurting people, and when pain collides, it often creates more pain. Reports suggested Justin could be controlling, while Selena admitted she often felt invisible in the relationship. She once said, "I felt like I didn't matter, like everything was always about him. That's not love, that's erasure." Their music became the diary they couldn't keep private. Justin poured his emotions into songs like Sorry, What Do You Mean, and Mark My Words, all filled with regret and longing. Selena answered with The Heart Wants What It Wants, opening with an audio clip of her crying, and later with Lose You to Love Me, her ultimate farewell. The lyric, "In 2 months you replaced us like it was easy," shook fans because the timeline lined up. In March 2018, she and Justin were spotted together. By June, he was seen with Hailey Baldwin. By July, they were engaged. And by September, they were married, all within 6 months. Selena never mentioned names. She didn't have to. Fans connected the dots. Hailey entered the picture like an unexpected plot twist. Was she the villain? Or simply another chapter in Justin's story? Many fans blamed her, calling her a copycat and comparing her to Selena endlessly. From nail styles to interviews to skincare products. Hailey spoke out, insisting, "I was never with him when he was with anyone else. That's not who I am." She admitted the first year of her marriage was difficult. Justin agreed, saying he had to face old trauma before he could truly love someone the right way. So, no, their marriage wasn't flawless. But it also wasn't Hailey's fault. The deeper issue was that Justin entered a marriage without fully healing from the relationship that had shaped him most. Fans felt it, and many still do. While the internet argued over Selena versus Hailey, the truth was much more complicated. Selena didn't just move forward, she rose to a new level. She launched Rare Beauty, which wasn't only a makeup line, but a movement centered on real skin, real people, and mental health awareness. It wasn't about hiding flaws or chasing perfection, but about embracing self-love. She released her documentary, My Mind and Me, where she opened up about her deepest struggles without sugarcoating or disguising her pain. She showed her reality instead of pretending everything was fine. Her honesty connected with people, and soon, she became the most followed woman on Instagram. Not because of drama or gossip, but because of her authenticity. Selena stopped waiting for closure from Justin and gave that closure to herself. That's the real story. Not the drama, but the woman who found her strength after losing herself in someone else. She went from being known as Justin's ex to becoming a CEO, producer, mental health advocate, and a woman in full control of her own story. And then there's Justin. For years, the world saw him as the boy with everything. Sold-out shows, hit songs, and endless fame. But behind the lights and music videos, he was fighting private battles with addiction, anxiety, and the crushing weight of stardom. His journey hasn't been smooth. It's been raw, messy, and painfully real. In his 2021 album Justice, we see a man trying to heal, confronting his past mistakes, and searching for peace. Songs like Ghost, which touches on grief and regret, and Hold On, about resilience, reveal a deeper side of Justin. He's no longer the reckless teen the world once criticized. He's working to grow into someone stronger, someone capable of healthier love. His openness about faith, therapy, and unlearning toxic patterns shows that change is possible. Though it's difficult and uncomfortable, healing forces you to face your own darkness, but it's the only way to break free from cycles of pain. Hailey Bieber has also faced her own challenges. She stepped into a marriage that carried enormous public baggage and dealt with online hate and endless comparisons to Selena. She's been open about how hard that was, admitting that the first year of marriage wasn't a fairy tale, it was a test. It involved painful lessons, building trust, and learning how to set boundaries. It's a reminder that real love is not about perfection or fairy tale endings, but about work, patience, and growth. Meanwhile, Selena's transformation continues to inspire. From a Disney Channel star to a mental health advocate and successful entrepreneur, she's turned her struggles into strength. Living with lupus, enduring a kidney transplant, and battling anxiety and depression, she has chosen not to let these hardships, or her past relationship, define her. Instead, she built something meaningful out of her pain. With Rare Beauty, she created a brand centered on authenticity and wellness, using her platform to uplift people who feel insecure or broken. Her documentary offered a raw, unfiltered look into her world. No glitter, no filters, just the truth. What makes her story powerful is that she chose growth over heartbreak, learning to say, "I am more than who I was when I loved someone else." That's the lesson we can all take away. True love begins with self-love. It starts when you stop looking for closure in others and instead create it within yourself. But here's the bigger question. Why do we keep romanticizing toxic relationships like Jelena? Why do stories filled with jealousy, breakups, public fights, and heartbreak get packaged as passion? The truth is simple. Drama sells. Emotional chaos captures attention. Intensity makes for viral content. But passion built on pain is an illusion. It's not romance. It's a cycle that keeps people trapped in heartbreak. So, the next time you see a fan edit of Jelena or hear people call their love story goals, remember that what looked like a fairy tale from the outside was, in reality, filled with confusion and hurt. And maybe it's time we stop idolizing broken love stories and start celebrating the kind of love that heals, strengthens, and helps us grow. That's the real goal. Thank you for joining this deep dive into Jelena, not just as a relationship that defined an era, but as a story that reminds us why we should stop glorifying pain as passion. If you found this breakdown meaningful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with friends who enjoy celebrity stories but also want the truth behind the glamour. Let me know in the comments, what do you think Jelena teaches us about love, growth, and healing? And as always, remember to keep living with confidence.